refund of $26,000 per employee. GetRefunds.com. GetRefunds.com.
Walking into the building for the first time after the shooting, it was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco. An Odyssey station.
Good morning!
It's time to wake up. It's 5, and we're live.
Oh, is this thing on? I don't care. I want him to hear.
This is the pregame show, your early morning shot of sports on 95.7 The Game. Come on!
Oh, yeah. What is happening, people? Pre-game show. Joe Spadoni. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Days, games, series do not get bigger than this. Stephen Curry, LeBron James, Golden State Warriors, Los Angeles Lakers, San Francisco, the Bay versus the evil empire of LA. 888-957-9570. It's on, people. The King versus the Chef. Legacy Series. This is what it's all about. This is a finals type matchup in the second round. And where are you at, Dub Nation? In the biggest series, I don't even care if they play and move on against the Nuggets or the Suns or the Sixers or the Celtics. This means more. This is the series that means a lot. This is the bragging rights series. If you're a fan, this is the end-all be-all in the Steph versus LeBron debate. I don't care if they're older. I don't care if one might not be in his prime anymore while the other is. This is legacy-defining stuff we are about to witness, and it starts tonight at Chase Center. 7 o'clock tip, 6 o'clock right here on 95.7 The Game. That's when our coverage starts with Warriors Live. John Dickinson, before tossing it over to Tim Roy, the voice of the Golden State Warriors, and we will have all your coverage, all series long, all week long, weeks, however this series goes. Don't go anywhere. 95.7 The Game is your place to be. Download that Odyssey app, favorite 95.7 The Game. We are streaming live on Twitch and YouTube every single day, Monday through Friday. Like, subscribe, search 95.7 The Game. Do all that. We appreciate you. If you're just getting off work, getting ready for work, getting ready for school, getting ready for whatever you got to do. Flights. Please be safe. It's wet out there. It's rainy. A little windy. Please be safe. Roadways are awful. Yes, you thought you escaped the rain. No. You did not. Perhaps it's a good omen for the Golden State Warriors with the rain. Splash Bros? Can we have a huge game from them? Klay Thompson. There's so many, as I talk about Klay Thompson, and good morning to all of you. There's so many storylines in this, and I've been trying to jot them down this morning, and I did the best I could. I got top 7, and if I'm missing any other ones, I would love your support at 888-957-9570. That's the Comcast Business Text line, as well as the call-in line and YouTube. Hit me up. What is the number one storyline for you? And we all know the top one, but there may be some other ones that you slept on. And we're going to go through them throughout the show. Ultimately, the number one that everyone's going to turn to, of course, It's LeBron James and Stephen Curry. Now, could you not think of that? Part 5. Go back all the way to that first title run. Yeah, Kyrie hurt, Kevin Love hurt. But you know what? Golden State Warriors, it's not their problem. They got their first chip in that run. They go back 73-9. We know how that ended. Harrison Barnes, Draymond Green suspended. We get all that. Go back, get KD. Win 2 more. Then you come back last year. You win another one. That's 4. Meanwhile, while you were down in that little hiatus after that Raptors series loss, in which you lost Kevin Durant forever. He may come back. Who knows? Suns, by the way, down 0-2 to the Denver Nuggets. That's not looking too good for them. Klay Thompson, hurt, then hurt again, out for a few more years. During that time, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, they won this thing called the NBA Championship in 2020. Now, as is tradition around these parts, bubble ring, Mickey Mouse, whatever you want to say. They won a ring. They got the hardware for it. They hung a banner. These are the 2 blue-blooded, no pun intended for gold-blooded. I guess gold-blood makes sense for both these teams because they both have gold in them, purple and gold and blue and gold. But you know what I'm saying. These are the 2 blue blood organizations in the West right now. Full stop right there. It's Lakers, if you want to toss in the Spurs, feels like their time's kind of passed. They had their cup of coffee for better part of 15 plus years. That looks like it's faded away. Got the Lakers, who are always going to be there. And now you're hoping, Golden State Warriors fans, that Joe Lacob and his vision will last your lifetime. Because that's what the Lakers have been since the 19-whatevers, 40s, 50s, 60s, going back to Minneapolis. Go back to George Mikan. Think of all the names. Magic Johnson, Kareem, James Worthy, Kobe, Shaq, LeBron, Anthony Davis. These are the names we're talking about. This is history. And Golden State Warriors and Stephen Curry, they took a chunk out of this guy's history and his legacy in LeBron James. So that's why I say this is a legacy series when it comes to these 2 franchises, these 2 teams, these ownership groups. Don't get it twisted. Joe Lacob wants to be the next Dr. Jerry Buss, R.I.P. That's who he wants to be. He doesn't want to flame out. He doesn't want this to be the last dance. We saw how that ended with Chicago and the Bulls. Yeah, Michael Jordan, he's the GOAT. We get all that. But look how it happened after Chicago. What have they done the last 20 years? Nothing. Meanwhile, you look at the Los Angeles Lakers, they win every decade. That's what you are looking for. That's the level of success that Joe Lacob wants. That's why he got into this business. Not just for a run, not just for a dynasty, not just one. No, he's looking at multiple. He's looking into the 2030s, into the 2040s. How are we going to continue this success after Stephen Curry? You follow a team, follow an organization like the Los Angeles Lakers, like the Boston Celtics, teams that have contended for every single decade. Now, this last decade belongs to the Warriors. And they want to put their stamp on it starting tonight. Again, tip-off, 7 o'clock, Warriors, Lakers, LeBron, Steph, Draymond, Kevon, Anthony Davis, D'Angelo Russell, former Warrior, by the way, Andrew Wiggins, traded for each other. You can put that in another storyline. I didn't even think about that one. So we're going to discuss all these top storylines. And again, we'll have all our predictions. What are you feeling, Dub Nation? 888-957-9570. If you're just joining us, Twitch and YouTube, you know the deal. You see what I'm wearing. I said it yesterday. If I have to say it all week in all series, I will. I'll be professional. I'll be impartial. I'm Joseph Spadoni. Go full name, professional. Just breaking down the X's and O's of the series. Flip over to the morning roast at 6 o'clock, 6:05, whenever we get started. Yeah, I'm going to be the pesky Joey Spadoni, big Laker fan guy. But for this show, 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., that's a professional, all right? As professional as we could be here at 5:09 a.m. in San Francisco. Appreciate all y'all tuning in. Appreciate Everyone listening via the Odyssey app, be sure to download that via Twitch, via YouTube. Hello, how you doing? Nicole, Carl, Stunna, appreciate all of you. Derek, Ernest, all of y'all. Ernest D, he could immortalize himself. This via the YouTube. I don't even know who that's talking about. It could be anyone who could immortalize themselves. Stephen Curry, LeBron. Legacy-defining stuff. This is just the sexiest matchup. You know, we were talking about, and we saw before the series, like, oh, you know, we could. It's either way. It's going to be a great storyline. Whether it's, you know, it's the Warriors versus Memphis. No, no. The Grizzlies, they're the bottom of the totem pole. Dylan Brooks is a fraud. The organization is fraudulent. Please miss me with that. John needs to worry about himself more than he has to worry about himself on the court versus his off the court stuff. Fix yourself, be safe, and get with that. We don't need to deal with that crap. No. Let's get back to real basketball. Blue-blooded stuff. Teams that have been there and done that. We want the purple and gold. We want to show them that we're the new sheriff in town. We're the evil empire now. It was cute. You guys had a little run when we were hurt, when Clay was hurt, when KD left. That's cute. Pandemic hit, and you guys capitalized on it. Now, they were the number one seed at the time. They were playing like the best team in the league. So I'm not going to call it as fraudulent as some might. If you want to call that one with the Los Angeles Dodgers fraudulent, be my guest, because that was such a shortened season with 60 games. War of attrition, that's what MLB is, and that was not tested. We get all that. Lakers, they were one of the best teams in the league up until the league shut down for a period of time. So if you want to get into that storyline, whether that's a true championship or not, I'm not going to waste my time with it. What I will waste my time is, and maybe not waste the time is the word, I'm trying to entertain. 888-957-9570. Top storylines in this Warriors-Lakers series. Let me know what you think. Again, that number and on the Twitch and YouTube chat, you guys are on fire. Also, you can hit me up on Twitter at Spadoni_Joe. So, you start off, you know, with the basic stuff. You can start off number 7. This is why I got top 7 storylines in this Warriors-Lakers series. And I'm starting off with the others versus the others, as Shaq calls them. Not the top guys, not the top billing, not Steph, not LeBron, not AD, not Draymond. I'm going a little off the cuff here. Now, if you guys say these aren't the others, these are starters, I get it. But these aren't the first names you think of when you think of this series. Austin Reeves and Jordan Poole. Now, one of those is starters, and one of those has been starting. Jordan Poole's been in and out of that lineup. Austin Reeves, similarly. Austin Reeves has drawn much disdain from around the league and from other fan bases, particularly the Golden State Warriors one, because of his foul calls. Does a lot of dribble drive penetration, foul hunts, gets the calls, undeservingly, deservingly. Who's to say? Apparently he gets the calls. That's all I know. Warriors fans are begging for Stephen Curry to be those same calls. We got a second-year undrafted player out of Oklahoma getting that, and the 4-time defending champion can't. I get it. It's frustrating. Now, on the flip side, he's been playing very well. At 3 balls working, he's a great distributor, plays smart, doesn't turn the ball over. We get all that. Jordan Poole, on the other hand, that guy, you don't know what you're going to get. He gets the big contract, he gets the money, and what does he get? He gets punched in the face before the year starts. And it's been up and down. It's been tumultuous. I'm sure we all saw the video of this past weekend. Game 6, kind of meltdown there. Get off me, Draymond, whatever it was. Draymond trying to talk to him. Jordan Poole wasn't having it. He walked back to the bench. I don't think that's that shocking, but it is what it is. It's professional sports, but people are going to dissect it one way or the other. Oh, there's a friction in the locker room. No. Guys are angry. They didn't show up, and it was a bad game. And Jordan Poole has a right to be angry for themselves. And the Warriors have a right to not be that happy with Jordan Poole because he hasn't just been playing that well. So who's going to step up in that matchup? Who's going to step up with Andrew Wiggins and D'Angelo Russell? Who's going to step up there? D'Lo, former Golden State Warrior, when they tried to do something, right? You think back to that year that was lost. You got D'Angelo Russell. You had the sign and trade with KD to Brooklyn. It's like, KD throwing you a bone here. Okay. Bob Myers did right by me. I'm going to do right by this organization that I won 2 titles with. Sign and trade. Here comes D'Lo. Eventually flip him for Andrew Wiggins, who was the second best player for the Warriors, not only in last year's playoff run, probably the third best this year, if we're putting Kevon Looney in this conversation now, but he's up there. He was out for a few months, and it's like he never left. It's like he picked up right where he left off, and it's pretty wild. His conditioning is that great after not playing in high-level basketball for that long. It's pretty unbelievable. Morelli, good morning. Khalil King, good morning. Appreciate all y'all chiming in. Robert Johnson, what am I talking about? Spadoni, get off our airways. Well, it's my airways, buddy. Get to be the first voice here every day, Monday through Friday at 5 a.m. Promoting that Lakers BS. I'm promoting Warriors versus Lakers. That's what I'm promoting. Good morning, Eduardo. Good morning, Rick's son. Appreciate all y'all. Ernest D, this is what he had to say. Wiggins has a chance to immortalize himself. Before, he was a Warriors bust. With Warriors, two-way Wiggs is born, putting the clamps on Doncic and Tatum. He steps up in this series and affects LeBron. He's legit. He's absolutely legit. He proved that last year, to your point, with his defense on Brown, Tatum, Doncic, everyone. He was awesome. He doesn't need to prove anything else. Not to me, anyways. Now, does he want to prove something to LeBron James? Hell yeah, he does. Don't forget, when LeBron went back to Cleveland, he shipped Wiggins out. See ya. I'm getting my buddy Kevin Love in here. I got Kyrie. Bye, Andrew. We don't need you. Now, he won a title. He went to a bajillion more in a row. So it was the right move, ultimately. But that's got to hurt your ego if you're Andrew Wiggins. You know, one of the greatest players of all time looks at me, number 1 draft pick, and it's like, I'll pass. I'd rather have Kevin Love. That's got to hurt your ego. But you know what? He stuck with it. He got to the right organization with the Golden State Warriors, and you know what? It paid off. He got his ring. He got his respect. And if he continues on this path that I think he's on with the Golden State Warriors, he may be headed to where the hell it is? Springfield, Kentucky, wherever the hell it is. Where is it? Springfield, Massachusetts? Wherever the Hall of Fame is in basketball. I know it's the Basketball Hall of Fame. Doesn't have Canton, Cooperstown, anything like that. Suppose it's Springfield, right? Never been there. Never been to any Hall of Fame place, actually. Would like to go. Probably be pretty fun. Not big into museums and stuff like that as it is. I've been going to a lot more since I've been a dad, so maybe that love has grown a little more for him, but I'm just, doesn't really do much for me looking at old stuff. Not for me anyways, maybe for some. 888-957-9570 is the number. Bob Myers, president of basketball operations with the Golden State Warriors, joined the Morning Roast yesterday and had some interesting thoughts regarding Game 7, Steph's speech, all that. I want to play some of that sound here for you as this show goes on, particularly this one on the Los Angeles Lakers kind of being an opposite to the Sacramento Kings. Their style of play, very different. You're going to look at LeBron, older guy, 38, try to slow down the pace, get his rhythm going, feed Anthony Davis. D'Lo wants to get hot. They're long, they're athletic. Vanderbilt's a problem. They're going to try to slow this thing down. They're not quick. They don't have De'Aaron Fox on this team. D'Lo is a problem. He's got speed, but he's not De'Aaron Fox. But on the flip side, Anthony Davis is not Domantas Sabonis. Not even close. So it's going to be a very, very interesting matchup when it comes to Kevon Looney, Anthony Davis, Draymond Green, all the bigs, all of that. But here's Bob Myers, president of basketball operations, talking about the Lake Show being opposite of the Kings and the Warriors not getting the amount of rest that they would have liked.
And the Lakers are almost the inverse of the Kings as far as style of play, as far as what they do, different pace, different speed, big size team, great defensive team. So it's kind of flipping things on their head. So it'll take a while, maybe for both coaches, to figure out how to game plan. But that's what makes it fun. But as far as the roster, I mean, no roster's perfect. Ours isn't. Nobody's is. So you got to figure out what's the best way, especially coming off the bench, what matchups work the best, what combinations. But that's what gives you guys hours and hours of time on the radio
right.
to say, you should have played this guy, that guy. everybody listening, and you guys too, we're human beings. I mean, whether it's my mistakes with the roster, whether Steve should have done this or that, I guess rest assured, the care factor is huge. We care more than anybody can imagine. Probably too much, to be honest. And so it doesn't mean we're not trying. We don't get it right. But I do love the passion of you guys, of our fans, of all the people that have supported us. It's just so great to keep this thing going, and it's going to be a fun series.
It's going to be a fun series, and I'll have my final series prediction during the crossover, probably, where Joe Shasky, the Morning Roast, joins me at 5:45, as he does each and every day, Monday through Friday. But President of Basketball Operations there for the Golden State Warriors, Bob Myers, talking about the matchups. It's going to be interesting. You know, we all love a Monday morning quarterback. That's what sports talk radio is built upon. We love the X's and O's. We love questioning Steve Kerr, or if you're a Laker fan, Darvin Ham, all of that. We love that. So, number 7 on my top storylines for this Warriors-Lakers series, I put the others versus the others, Reeves, Poole, Wiggins, Russell. And speaking of Andrew Wiggins, here's Bob Myers talking about Wiggins picking up where he left off in last year's playoffs.
Wiggins' effort, playing huge minutes, guarding usually what is the other team's best player, is not easy. And you know, the shot making will come, I think. You know, he missed the game. He missed 2 months. His legs probably are still coming back. And guarding Fox, guarding Monk, two real tough covers, it's tiring. You see it with the free throws. He made his first 6 and his next 4. And he's going to get his 3-point shot going again. Some of that's his legs, like you said. But another big reason why, obviously, we won it last year and are making it to the second round now is Wiggins. It's just the best thing about his story to me is nobody's talking about him like people used to say, oh, he's got an awful contract and he can't win with Wiggins. And he had to earn the respect of the Bay Area fans. And he did.
He absolutely did. Not just Bay Area fans either, of the nation. This guy, I wasn't going to say bust with Andrew Wiggins because that's too harsh, because his numbers were solid. He didn't have bust numbers. No, not even close. He was a very, very solid basketball player that when he looked up at the end of the game and it was a Minnesota Timberwolves loss or something like that, he looked up, he's like, oh, he had his typical 18, 5, and 3, whatever it is, 18, 6, and 2. Yeah, that's good. He wasn't a scrub. And when he got to this Golden State Warriors organization, he realized, hey, man, they got Stephen Curry. They got Klay Thompson. They got Draymond Green. They have 3 Hall of Famers already. I just need to be the 4th best guy, the 4th best option. And you know what? He's turned himself into the 2nd best option. He has something that no one else on this team has, outside of maybe Stephen Curry, the greatest shooter of all time. But that jumper is so wet. That mid-range jump shot, that fadeaway, a la a Kobe Bryant, shout out to the Los Angeles Lakers, who they were playing. We were talking about it last week on the Morning Roast. That's who he learned it from. A full circle for a lot of guys in this series because they grew up watching and idolizing not only Kobe, but LeBron, who are both Los Angeles Lakers. So this is a legacy series, and it's personal for these guys. It absolutely is. So my top 7 storylines, and let me know yours at 888-957-9570 for the Warriors and Lakers second round matchup. Number 6 here, as number 7 was the others versus the others. Darvin Ham versus Steve Kerr. This is interesting, and I don't think it's going to get talked about enough, and I've been talking about it this past week, that coaching matters. We compare it a lot to the NFL, to other like managers in baseball, where that might have a more impactful decision-making. You think of pulling a pitcher too early, too late. You think of, pinch hitting in a certain situation, sack bunting, all of that stuff. Think of challenging when you're a coach in the NFL, mixing and matching different calls, go for it on 4th now, like things that change outcomes of games. In basketball, it's really not that. You got 5 players, like, hey, you know what? Superstars, go do your thing. Maybe I'll have a play here or there coming out of a timeout. Maybe I'll challenge something, but for the most part, it's on you guys. Come playoff time, though, and we saw this in Game 7 with Mike Brown, damn right it matters. Coaching matters. Mike Brown found something in Game 6 and somehow, some way, just didn't go back to it. I don't know what he was doing, having Sabonis in there for so long. When Game 6, when he was out, the Kings were cooking. I think the Warriors and Steve Kerr dodged a bullet that Mike Brown somehow forgot what happened in Game 6, took it back home, thought he can get away with what he was trying to do in Games 4 and 5, which didn't work out. And he somehow, some way tricked it off. That's what happened. Steve Kerr, on the other hand, you know what? Hey, Jordan Poole, you can start. Draymond Green, I know you came up and you were going to tell me to come off the bench, but we're going to stick with it. Not just for this game, but for the next one. And hell, maybe the next series. Now the series might change. Whole different style of play. You might go back to the old rotation. It's going to be a defensive battle in this round, I would say. But coaching absolutely matters. And Steve Kerr, not just coaching, but in his playing days, he's a 9-time NBA champion. And come playoff time, hell yeah, that matters. When you're undefeated in Western Conference Series, hell yeah, that matters. And Darvin Ham, hey, listen, he's undefeated, I guess, too, as a head coach in Western Conference Series. He's only played in one. Coached in one, I should say. So that's another matchup that is fascinating to me as we look at the top storylines in Warriors-Lakers second-round series. So we got number 7, the others versus the others, Reeves versus Poole, Wiggins versus Russell. Number 6, we got Darvin Ham versus Steve Kerr. What's going to happen there? Who's going to blink first? Is Darvin Ham going to make some rookie mistakes with adjustments, matchups, all that sort of stuff? We have so much more to get into. We got to take a quick break. Come on back. Again, the number is 888-957-9570 if you'd like to get involved, whether it's call or text. We're taking all your calls all week here on 95.7 The Game. Warriors, Lakers tonight, 7 o'clock tip. Our coverage starts at 6 with Warriors Live. John Dickinson, right here on 95.7 The Game. Don't go anywhere, folks. This is the pregame show. Joe Spadoni. Come on back.
Hey, you know what I don't get? Why is that company always telling you to just do what? What is it? To just look like everybody else? Or maybe just pay way too much for your shoes? Well, at Skechers, we know what we want you to do. Just slip in. That's right, just slip in to new hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Why? Because slip-ins are the easiest, most comfortable shoes ever. You don't have to bend down.
increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Now, back to the pregame show on 95.7 The Game.
Welcome back. Pre-game show. Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game. Warriors, Lakers. Game 1, round 2, Western Conference semi starts tonight. 7 o'clock tip. Please be safe. We're just getting off work, getting on work, getting ready. Those roadways are slick. It is wet. Sign of good things to come tonight for the Splash Bros, potentially. Warriors Live, our coverage starts at 6 o'clock before tossing it over to the great Tim Roy at 7 o'clock tip. Can't wait. This series is so damn exciting. We're going through all the storylines here on the pregame show. 888-957-9570 is the number if you would like to get involved. Your top storylines, Twitch, YouTube. We are up and streaming. Search 95.7 The Game. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. We're just doing numbers here. Not a pregame show in the morning roast. You guys are awesome. I love all of you people. Chime in during the morning roast when I can on the chat. That's going to be a toxic chat. I'm not trying to. And again, I'm going to be nice, going to be professional from 5 to 6. I'll be Joseph. 6:05 comes around. Little Joey Spadoni's going in there, and he's going to be needling Big Bros, Bonte Hill, and Joe Shasky. Don't get it twisted. 888-957-9570. So we have our first two of our top 7 storylines down. Number 7, the others versus the others. 6, Darvin Ham versus Steve Kerr. Number 5, oh, this could be generic to some. And he's like, why do you even put that? It's obvious. It's LA versus the Bay. Come on. The geographical rivalry. It's not even close. Right? It's got to be there. And you might say, like, that doesn't deserve to be on the list. That's just in everything. Well, I'm putting it down there because you know what? This is my list. I can do with them as I please. So number 5, I got LA versus the Bay. Hasn't fared well with Los Angeles teams in playoff times. Most recently, Dodgers beaten the San Francisco Giants in the playoffs for the first time. 5-game series, Cody Bellinger saying, I single. We get it. It was a magical season, and now it feels like the Giants have never been the same since that Game 5. Down year, looking like another down year. Astros doing what they do. Giants doing what they do, collapsing yesterday as they fall again. Mauricio Dubon taking shots after the game. We'll have plenty of time to react to Giants all season long, but right now we're focused on the Golden State Warriors and Los Angeles Lakers. But it's LA versus the Bay. You go back to the Giants again in the early 2000s. Barry Bonds, you wanted to get him a ring, right? Dusty Baker didn't have one up until this past season with those same Houston Astros. The Los Angeles Angels and that stupid rally monkey. Really? Mike Scioscia. All those guys. Lackey. Webb. Hated that. How about those San Jose Sharks? 3-0 lead. You kidding me? 3-0 lead. You're blowing out to the LA Kings. LA Kings went on to win the whole damn thing. Jonathan Quick. So it has not fared well. And it's been 30 plus years since the Lakers and Warriors have met in the playoffs, and it didn't fare well then either. Magic Johnson at the end of his run TMC. So there's a lot to break. Oh, the play-in game. Almost slept on that. I know we sleep on it because the play-in game. Warriors didn't have real championship expectations that year. Still no Klay Thompson. Steph was a baller, though. Was an MVP type candidate. Just didn't happen. LeBron seeing the 3 rims or whatever, hits that shot. We get it. And then Warriors go on to lose to the Grizzlies. Now is the start of something else. So it has not fared well for the Golden State Warriors. And they could feel like a little brother. And this time, in this series, they can put away and ultimately surpass the big bro, the Los Angeles Lakers. And let's be honest, Warriors fans. Let's be honest. beating the Lakers in this round. It's not going to be as good as a championship. It's going to feel pretty damn close, though. This jersey, if you're on Twitch and YouTube, you can see it. LeBron James, Anthony Davis. It would feel pretty freaking awesome to have that trump card in your back pocket for all the smack talking for years to come. Come on. Let's be honest. It would be up there. Even if you don't win the championship, yeah, we beat your ass. King James my ass, right? Come on. Let's be honest with ourselves. 888-957-9570. So LA versus the Bay, my number 5, and we're talking top storylines in this Warriors-Lakers series. Number 4, Klay Thompson versus his hometown team. Dad won championships, that being Michael Thompson. He's a voice for the radio side of this team in the Los Angeles Lakers. Klay grew up rooting for Kobe, Shaq, being in those locker rooms. He was sniffing around. And he has a chance to stick it to his old team, a la Matt Steinmetz and Mark Willard. I'll find the drop somewhere. It's one of the funniest drops I've ever heard in my life. But Klay Thompson versus his hometown team in the Los Angeles Lakers. Man, doesn't get more. There's just so many damn storylines. It doesn't get more poetic than going back where it all started. I know it's not Staples anymore. God, I hate the name crypto. But it doesn't get more poetic than that if you're Klay Thompson. And let's be honest.
Stuck it in me.
Thank you, Steiny. Let's be honest. Klay balls out in LA. Historically, he has had some awesome games down at Crypto.com Arena. Stephen Curry, on the other hand, for whatever reason, when it's against the Lakers, he hasn't shot well down there. It's very odd. Against the Clippers, he's had some big games, but against the Lakers, unless maybe things are just different there, I don't know, all those banners being hung, maybe that just gets in the way, messes with his depth perception. But for whatever reason, he has not played well down there. That is Stephen Curry. But Klay, oh, he gets up for it. He gets up. And Los Angeles Laker fans, they've wanted that guy for a long time. They've always felt like Klay was, quote unquote, one of their own. They've had nothing but love for him and have always wanted to see him donning that purple and gold. Maybe one day, maybe 1 year later, but I'm sure Golden State Warriors fans are like, hell no. He's sticking to one jersey for the rest of his life, and that's blue and gold. Shout out Gold-Blooded. Like that? Like I tied that in there, YouTube, Twitch. I'm bad at this. I'm bad at getting the camera angles if you're streaming on Twitch and YouTube. 888-957-9570. So Klay Thompson versus his hometown team. He's trying to stick it in them a la Mark Willard and Matt Steinmetz.
Willard, stuck it in me.
Thanks, Steiny. Appreciate you. By the way, great interview with Stephen A. Smith up on the Odyssey app right now. Be sure to download that bad boy. Favorite 95.7 The Game. Stephen A. Smith. You know him. You love him. Or you hate him. Don't be disrespectful. He joined Steiny and Goo yesterday. Did a hell of an interview. He still likes the Golden State Warriors in this series. Saying it might go 7, though. Might go 7, but it's going to be a tough one for the Golden State Warriors that will ultimately go their way. So number 4, we got Klay versus hometown team. We're doing top storylines in this Warriors-Lakers series. Number 7, others versus the others. Number 6, Darvin Ham versus Steve Kerr. Number 5, LA versus the Bay. Number 4, Klay versus his hometown team. And number 3, oh, by the way, with LA versus the Bay, I totally forgot. The Bay encapsulates everyone. We didn't forget about the Dodgers and Kirk Gibson against the against the Oakland Athletics. We didn't forget about that, A's fans. I know it's easy to forget about you guys right now. Struggling by the Brent Rooker. He's a baller, though. AL Player of the Week. Look out. But we did not forget about you, I promise. So number 3, as we move our way up the list. And this one's going to be interesting. And Mark Spears, Hall of Famer, by the way, NBA writer for ESPN and Anscape, just wrote this piece regarding these two. And it's my number 3 storyline, Draymond Green versus LeBron James, who are now best friends, apparently. Just all of a sudden, just best friends. Their families are really close. I guess they're 2 Midwest guys that just sort of hit it off. They vibe well with each other, and they're besties. Now, it doesn't sit well with Dub Nation because King James, as we know, is enemy number one around these parts, outside of Dylan Brooks, I guess. But it's 1A, 1B. Pick your poison. Chris Paul, you can add him in there too. By the way, Chris Paul left the game yesterday in a Suns loss. They're down 2-0 to the Denver Nuggets. Chris Paul leaving with a groin tightness. I hate to see people get injured, but you know what? Is anyone surprised? That's all I'm going to say. Is anyone surprised with that happening? It sucks. We don't like to see it happen, but it is what it is with Chris Paul during this time of the year. He gets hurt, and that could potentially be all they wrote for the Phoenix Suns. They're down 0-2, and the Denver Nuggets, man. I know we were all sleeping on them around here, and I'm still kind of asleep, semi. Took an Ambien, passed out. Maybe I'm semi-waking up from them, but they look damn good. Jokic, if Murray's going to be playing like that, and you're getting contributions from Aaron Gordon and KCP like that, former Laker champion, by the way, they got a shot. They absolutely have a shot. They were the best team in the West all season long, and they're proving it during these playoffs. There's no doubt about it. So Draymond Green versus LeBron James, my number 3. I kind of semi-jokingly made one yesterday saying, Draymond Green, the winner of this series with the Lakers and Warriors, they're getting him. They're getting him. He's joining them. I was like semi-joking with it, but the more I thought about it, maybe, right? If the Lakers win this series, Warriors could blow it up. Draymond could be like, you know what? I'm going to bounce. Peace. I'll get paid from someone else. Lakers want to pay me. I'll go with them. Or if the Warriors win this series, I think they got a damn good shot at getting back to the NBA Finals. I mean, you looked at the East lately. I think the winner of the West is winning the Finals. So they got a damn good shot about getting him back too. So winner of this series gets to keep Draymond. How about that at 888-957-9570? We got 2 more in my top 7 storylines in Warriors-Lakers. 888-957-9570 is the number if you would like to get involved. Twitch, YouTube, hello. Appreciate all of you chiming in. We got one more segment here coming up, the crossover, where Joe Shasky joins me, Joe Shasky, the Morning Roast, for some Lakers-Warriors talk. Come on back, 95.7 The Game.
Do you have neuropathy? Are you experiencing numbness, tingling, and pain that just won't stop? Are you taking dangerous drugs that have serious side effects and never fix the pain? If so, please listen to this message. Neuropathy is a serious progressive condition that only gets worse if not treated properly. Call SF Bay Wellness at 844-94-NERVE to get back to doing the things you want to do. There is no drug, exercise, or surgery that can heal nerves. Don't wait until your condition gets worse and stops you from living your life fully. SF Bay Wellness has a time-tested, proven track record of helping hundreds of patients to improve and reverse their neuropathy. If you're ready to regain your independence, contact SF Bay Wellness at 844-94-NERVE. Call now for your $99 neuropathy special and receive...
covering ongoing activities and historical presentations. Go to sfhistory.org and discover the San Francisco Historical Society, giving our history a great future. Become a member today.
Now, back to the pregame show on 95.7 The Game.
Welcome back. Pregame show, Joe Spinoni, 95.7 The Game. Been breaking down, previewing, I should say. Got to watch something to break it down first. But previewing Lakers-Warriors. First game of round 2 of the Western Conference semis. Tonight, we'll have all that coverage all day long right here on 95.7 The Game. 6 o'clock, Warriors Live. That pregame coverage with John Dickinson before tossing it over to the great Tim Roy at Warriors Vox, voice of the Golden State Warriors. Does a great job. Tim's the best. Great guy, too. So be sure to be locked into that. Tip off at 7. If you're driving in, if you're getting off work, getting ready for work, doing whatever right now, later, it's going to be wet out there, folks. So please be safe if you're on those roadways. Appreciate all of you listening via the Odyssey app. Be sure to download that bad boy if you haven't. Be sure to like and subscribe via Twitch and YouTube. All of that. 888-957-9570 is the number. Call or text. The crossover in moments where Joe Shasky, the Morning Roast, joins me as he does each and every day, Monday through Friday, to talk about what's hitting him in this series. Because I've gotten my top 7 storylines, and I'd love to know yours. Again, the number 888-957-9570. The top storylines in Warriors Lakers series. We got the others versus the others at number 7. You can put in Reeves, Poole, Wiggins, Russell. Number 6, Darvin Ham versus Steve Kerr, rookie head coach versus a 4-time champion head coach, 9-time overall. You got LA versus the Bay. Number 5. You got number 4, Clay versus his own team, his hometown team. He still calls LA his home too. Dad works for the team. His dad was a champion with the team. What does that mean for him? It means a hell of a lot. Number 3, Draymond versus LeBron. That just writes itself. Number 2, as we get to this one now, Anthony Davis, and I can't believe we're talking about this matchup as a number 2 storyline heading into this. Anthony Davis versus Kevon Looney. That's my number 2 storyline, which is crazy to say, but Kevon has been playing so damn well that it's a legit conversation now. As Joe Shasky joins me of the Morning Roast for the crossover, and we've been discussing our top storylines in this Warriors-Lakers series, Joe, and I worked my way up. Number 7, I had the others versus the others, right? You can have your Reeves, Poole. Hell, I put Wiggins, Russell there. That could be its own storyline. I just kind of lumped it together. But you can have Wiggins and Russell. Both of them had a cup of coffee. Well, Wiggins for maybe a couple minutes before he was traded away with LeBron James. D'Angelo Russell, obviously, former Warrior, former Laker, number 2 overall pick, all of that. Both traded. Both didn't want him. Now Russell's back. Who's he going to stick it to? We shall see. Number 6, Darvin Ham, rookie head coach versus Steve Kerr. This is going to be an underrated one. I think it's going to fly under the radar is the coaching matchup and the lack of experience for Darvin Ham. That means something to me. I know LeBron, he's been there and done that. Number 5, it's generic, but I still put it in there, LA versus the Bay factor. It's very fascinating. The Bay has not fared well, Joe Shasky, against these guys down there. Whether it's the A's and Kirk Gibson, whether it's the Giants versus the Angels, whether it's the Giants versus the Dodgers, whether it's the Sharks versus the Kings, and hell, the last play-in game. It has not fared well for the Bay against LA. And I know it's going to piss off a lot of people. Number 4, Clay versus his hometown team. That's a really fun storyline. He wants to stick it to them. Number 3, Draymond versus LeBron. It's fascinating, that relationship.
Could go Draymond versus Draymond.
Oh, they're best friends. No one loves Draymond like Draymond, though.
How many camel clutch
there you go.
situations will we have this week?
Huge. And number 2, I got Anthony Davis versus Kevon Looney. Your thoughts on that one real quick, because I just got to it as you were walking in here.
I would throw in Draymond in there because I think they're going to throw a variety of guys on him. And the question really becomes, how much does Anthony Davis want to live in the paint versus how many settled outside shots is he going to take? There's a distinct difference between the two players.
No, it's absolutely. And you kind of know within the first half of quarter, it's like, all right, are we getting a dominant AD game?
Exactly.
Or are we going to get, I'm not really into it today. They're pushing me around. I'm just going to sell for a jumper. Now, if it's working for him early, that's fine. And sometimes it sets himself up later and he can dominate. But he needs to live in the paint if the Warriors want to win the series. To me, he's got to get Looney in foul trouble. He's got to get Draymond in foul trouble, because then you're looking at a guy like Kuminga. You got to throw out Jermichael Green. Like, that's not going to get it done. So you have to be very disciplined if you're Kevon Looney and Draymond Green against this guy.
Are they going to do what they did with Sabonis, where when he gets to a certain spot in the paint, you send that late double? You know what I mean? Like, how are they going to handle that? I think there are some there are some shooters that worry me on the Lakers that are very, very streaky. I've been listening all morning. You've been killing it.
Oh, thank you.
Because a lot of these I wrote down myself as storylines, and so I think you're spot on with all these. There's one that you've missed, but keep going.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, we'll go to that. We'll get to that one next. So Anthony Davis versus Kevon Looney. Then number one's obvious. It's part 5. It's Stephen Curry. It's LeBron James. Like, this is a legacy-defining series to me. Whichever one of these guys wins this series, I said in the chat last night, I think it was crickets because it's taboo. I'm not like, listen, I think the winner of this series wins the whole damn thing. That's how strongly I feel. Nuggets have looked awesome. They've looked better, way better than I thought. They're up 2-0 against the Phoenix Suns. It's looking like it might be a sweep, Joe Shasky.
And Bonte's kind of been all over this regarding the Kevin Durant thing, and I'm kind of with him at this point. Like, you do what you need to do to get Kevin Durant, but with that comes the sacrifice of all of their depth. And I think the Mikal Bridges subtraction has hurt them much more than the casual fan, or I hate using the word casual, than the casual observer would want to admit.
No,
I mean, they miss perimeter defense so bad right now.
And Bonte made a good point. He's like, listen, it's really hard to deny getting Kevin Durant.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like,
I would have done the deal too.
Yes, you would have done it, but you have to know, if you're the Phoenix Suns in the organization, Chris Paul's going to get hurt. He does every year. Like, and it sucks. Like, I would like to see him healthy. Like, I know we like to give him a bunch of crap around here, the player he is, dirty, whatever. I would like to see him healthy, because I would like to see the teams at their best when it matters the most, because that's when awesome games start happening. Now it feels like, and he's their most clutch player, by the way. He's been super clutch in these playoffs for them. Losing him, and you saw what happened. Kevin Durant has to put everything on his shoulders late in the game. And if he's having a bad shooting night, they're effed.
Yeah.
And that's what happened last night.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, and then you see what James Harden did last night.
Oh, my God.
Which was maybe his finest moment.
It's up there.
I mean,
against the defending Eastern Conference champions in Boston?
It was pretty impressive.
Pretty awesome.
You know, I mean, you get some contributions from Tobias Harris. Maxey was really good last night as well. Melton off the bench.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about that Melton-Dillon Brooks trade, kind of off air. Dare I say this regarding LeBron?
Oh, boy.
Dodgers, Cowboys. Like, there's all of these individual teams, I guess these collective teams, that are the greatest rivals to the Bay Area, right? That we think about. And then there's like the Brett Favres and the Russell Wilsons. And LeBron's the greatest rival to the Bay Area ever. Think about it. They've faced this guy 4 times in a championship setting. 4 times. Okay? And part of a rivalry is, it'd be not nice, but to balance out the rivalry, you got to lose once, at least.
Yes.
And they've lost to this guy.
And it was in heartbreaking fashion, too.
I mean,
that one stung the most.
The LeBron James rivalry to Warrior fans, he's their biggest rival.
Yes.
More than any individual team. We could say the Rockets, we could say Harden. LeBron, because of the fear factor and the fact that you did feel like it was an equal footing regarding his talent versus your talent, and you understood that when you beat them, when you beat him, it meant something. I think I'm ready to put him on the same level as Dodgers. I think I'm ready to put him on the same level as the Cowboys, all those. Like, to me, LeBron James is the greatest rival to the Bay Area fan.
Wow. And that's saying that you're a hardcore Giants fan. You've seen what the Dodgers did to the Giants this last couple of years. Like, in the last decade, really, they've just owned the NL West. But the Giants, they've won their fair share of World Series.
And then you pour over the Laker brand. You pour that right over LeBron.
It cranks it up to 1,000.
I mean, I've never had in my adult life Lakers Warriors
never
to be anything.
Let's be honest. Like, it's never really been anything.
No.
Even when they met in the playoffs, like, it's been the Lakers winning because they've had magic. It's been Showtime. It's been all of that. Like, there's never been, no matter how much we want to make it a rivalry, Lakers-Warriors just hasn't been. It's been dominant Lakers or dominant Warriors, and they've both been crappy at that time.
The high water mark for most Warrior fans my age against the Lakers was Jameson's back-to-back 50-point game.
Against Kobe, who also had 50, right?
But why was it special? Because it was against Kobe.
Because it was
against the Lakers, right? Like, so, I don't know. I think that I want this one as bad as any of the other ones I've ever won.
It feels like, and I said this earlier, it's not going to be as good. I'm not saying it's going to be worth an NBA championship, but it's going to feel pretty freaking awesome to hang that over the opposing fan base's head.
What do you think about the LeBron thing that I said?
About the greatest rivalry to the Bay Area?
I think it's as high up as you can go.
It is, and I'll give it to you. You know why? Because it's meant so much to the Golden State Warriors because of how important it was in the finals.
Exactly.
Say what you will about Dodgers-Giants. We've had one playoff series against them.
Yes.
Not in the finals. And I know it's geographically, they're in the same division, all that. Regular season, okay. I get it. You play against each other a lot. That's fine. This is for a championship.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why Celtics, Lakers mean something. It's not the geographic. It's like Boston's all the way over there and LA. They don't really care. No, it's them meeting in the finals all those times.
And for Steph Curry, you could make an argument his greatest achievements were against him. Even though I know Boston's on, like, I'm not dismissing Boston. And his greatest failure, and Draymond's greatest failure, is against him.
And think about LeBron James, vice versa. What player would he be if Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors weren't there to stop him? He would be the greatest player of all time. It wouldn't even be a debate.
Would we, if, let's say Steph Curry doesn't beat LeBron, and he beats the Indiana Pacers, he beats someone else, I don't think his legacy is boosted as much.
I totally agree. That's Joe Shasky. We're up against it here. He's joining Bonte Hill next. Again, Warriors, Lakers, Game 1, Western Conference semis tonight, 7 o'clock tip.
So ready.
I'm so damn fired up.
Oh, my God.
Warriors Live 6 of John Dickinson. Don't go anywhere, folks. All day, all long, all postseason long, all your Golden State Warriors coverage right here on 95.7 The Game.
Out of here.
Let's go, Lake Show.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMC FM at HD1 San Francisco.
officially turn the page to the second round of the NBA playoffs, and it's the Lakers, and it's the Warriors, and it's game one tonight at Chase Center at 7 p.m. It's Steph, it's LeBron, it's AD, it's Clay, it's Draymond, it's the stars of stars. You got celebrities, you got everything. As we say good morning to everybody out there getting off their graveyard shift. Drive safely, folks. The rain had crept up back on us. It is raining out there, so drive safely. You know how the drivers can get on the wet roadways. Good morning, everybody out there getting ready for work. If you're at work, what is happening? Big John in the building for Sam Love. Sam Love is taking some time off. He's going up to Portland. He's going to have some fun, but he'll be tapped in. We got, I don't even want to say his name, Joe Spadoni. Good morning to him. Good morning to Joe Shasky. Good morning to all the bakers, baristas, construction workers. Shasky, Lakers, Warriors. This is massive. Like, I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. He had some downtime yesterday. And I'm just breaking down the stats and looking at the bench production. I'm looking at all the little points in the paint and everything. It's LeBron and Steph. It's the Lakers and the Warriors for the first time since 1991 in the playoffs. This is juicy.
Bonte, I'm going to throw this out there, and you tell me what you think. Like, when you say, who's the greatest rival to any of the Bay Area teams, right? You're going to hear Dodgers, right?
Yep.
You're going to hear
Cowboys,
absolutely.
Seahawks now.
For sure. Maybe some older fans would say the Rams. You know what I mean? Like, I throw them out there. The New York Giants in football. St. Louis Cardinals.
Yep.
For the Warriors, like, okay, Harden, Rockets, but it never felt equal. Now, I know that one year they pushed them right away to the edge. I think LeBron is on the same level as the Dodgers. I really do.
LeBron by himself.
Yes, LeBron the entity by himself. Like, think about this. Had Steph Curry and them in that first championship, let's say they beat the Pacers.
Right.
Does it really, like, don't get me wrong.
It doesn't hit the same.
It would have been magical.
It doesn't hit the same.
Whether they beat the Magic, the Hawks, the Pacers, you beat LeBron James.
Right.
Okay? And then part of what makes a great rival is they got to take a bite out of you.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
LeBron took a bite out of you. And I could say and make an argument the biggest professional failure for Steph Curry and Draymond Green and Klay Thompson and Steve Kerr and the Warriors organization during this dynastic run is losing to LeBron.
Yep.
Now, we could go over why and how they lost and all that. And then you come back and you get Kevin Durant and you beat him, and it felt like the league diluted those accomplishments. Oh, it's unfair, which was total BS.
Because the Miami Heat all joined up together and plotted for 2 years and went down to South Beach and formed one of the sickest trios. LeBron James.
Guy, after dancing on your grave and making fun of you losing 3-1.
No doubt.
When he politicked to get one of your guys
suspended,
chucked out of a game.
Yep. And the Halloween party.
Absolutely.
The 3-1 band, the cookies saying RIP to Clay, RIP to Steph, RIP to Draymond Green. There's a lot of chatter coming out of Cleveland. A lot.
Say what you want. And I know you've said, hey, this isn't the LeBron era, it's the Steph era. I think the majority of people would say LeBron is the gold standard since Kobe and Michael Jordan and those guys have stepped away from the game. And that's a fair statement. Steph Curry's right on his freaking heels, all right? He's matched him when it comes to championships. This is what it's all about. There is no other player I respect and simultaneously hate as much as LeBron James in professional sports right now.
Well, just think about the finals. Think about the finals, right? Warriors beat them 4-2. They lose 3-4. That's 7 wins for Steph Curry. He's 15, all right? 15-8 against LeBron in the NBA Finals. Lost 4 in 2016. Obviously, you lost 2 in 2015. You lost 1 in 2017. And you swept them in 2018. Steph all-time against LeBron in the NBA Finals, 15-7. He's got the better record.
15-7.
If you want to say,
that's crazy.
If people want to say, hey, it's the LeBron James era, but who's the best team during the LeBron James era?
It's been the Warriors.
It's been the Golden State Warriors.
Absolutely.
They've had more of an impact on the game of basketball worldwide than LeBron James's Cleveland Cavaliers teams or LA Lakers teams has ever had. It's been Steph. Steph has changed the way the game has been played and been more impactful offensively than LeBron James. And maybe that's a crazy statement 5 years ago. Maybe it's a crazy statement 3 years ago. But after what we saw last year in Boston, where Steph Curry helped lead the Warriors to their 4th championship in 8 years, and after watching Steph Curry become the first player in NBA history to score 50 in Game 7, it's like, wait a minute here. Wait a minute. You know, we talk about the cultural impact Allen Iverson had, the impact Jordan had on and off the floor. Kobe Bryant as well. Steph Curry's had more of an impact on the game of basketball than LeBron James.
Well,
and LeBron James may be the greatest player ever, but Steph Curry's had more of an impact on the game of basketball than LeBron.
In terms of shot selection, spacing the floor, yes. I do believe there's an argument for positionless basketball that LeBron helps spearhead.
No doubt.
You know, like you ask any diehard or casual NBA fan, what position does LeBron play?
Basketball player.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, you can make an argument he's the greatest small forward of all time.
Right.
He's the greatest point forward of all time. You could say he's a power forward in this modern era or a stretch four. Like, I'd listen to all those things. Positional versatility offensively and then defensively.
He could be a small ball 5. He could be your power forward. He could be your 3. He could be a point guard.
When he was at the height of his heights, he's not there right now, but when he was at the height of his heights, he's guarding Derrick Rose, the MVP of the league, out on the perimeter.
He was the best two-way player on the floor.
And wiping him away.
Best two-way player on the floor in 2011 and 2012.
So I think both of these guys have arguments for how they've revolutionized the game and how it's evolved to what we're seeing now. But there's no doubt about it. Steph Curry's impact is, it's through the roof, B. And I just think about the rivalry. Like, part of what makes a great sports rival to me is that on some level, you have to respect how great the individual is. Like Dylan Brooks. You and I can't stand Dylan Brooks.
Right.
But is he really a rival?
Nah, he's not good enough. He's more of a guy who annoys you.
That's what I'm saying.
He annoys you, and it's like, wait, you're talking and you're going 1 for 9 for the 3-point line? Wait, you're enough. The problem for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Exactly.
Until they get rid of you, they're not going to be able to level up in the playoffs.
Exactly.
It's not good enough.
I think about those Cowboy teams in the 90s, why we hated them so much.
Because they were damn good.
They were great. Emmitt Smith was great.
Michael Irvin.
That offensive line was great. Troy Aikman, that defense was great. You respected them. Jimmy Johnson was at the height of his craft.
Why do we hate the Seahawks? Because they were great defensively. Richard Sherman was the best corner in pro football. They were great all time. The New York Giants, why we hate them? Well, because they had pretty damn good defenses. No doubt about that. So LeBron James, an all-time great, and he's been in a way. Now, on the flip side, James supporters cannot stand to go to St. Warriors because they've kept him from matching Michael Jordan.
They've
out of nowhere. Remember the league was kind of set up where it's like you had your Heatles, you had Lob City. Everybody thought they were, like Chris Paul thought it was his turn to win the championship.
That guy.
And the Warriors ruined it for the Clippers. LeBron James thought, I'm going to cakewalk to the NBA Finals through the Eastern Conference. Nobody can touch me out east. Pacers are pushing me, but they're not really a threat. Toronto's pushing me, but they're not really a threat. The Atlanta Hawks are pushing me, but they can't touch me. Oh, wait, there's this team by the Bay with this guy named Stephen Curry that's broken basketball with the way that they played, the 30 assists a game, the over 300 passes per game, the way the ball moved, the way they shot threes. Oh, wait, the Splash Brothers, what's that? Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors have kept LeBron James from boasting 7 championships.
I think the way you're phrasing this argument, you know what it reminds me of?
What's that?
Brady and Peyton. Think about how many times these two have stepped in the way of the other one.
Yep.
Like Peyton Manning would be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
If not for the Patriots.
If it wasn't for Tom Brady. Now go back the other way. How many other Super Bowls would Tom Brady have been at had Peyton not been in the way?
I know. It's
right?
true.
But that's what makes them so great and so unique.
Steve Young.
Peyton's still like a top 5 quarterback of all time by most people's standards.
Right. You look at Steve Young. He thought, okay, finally I got past the Dallas Cowboys. That's good. We got the 1 championship. Now let's go get more. Oh, wait, this little team from Wisconsin by the name of the Green Bay Packers and his quarterback named Brett Favre kept Steve Young from winning multiple championships.
I was going to go the other way. I'm glad you brought that up. But like Lawrence Taylor, part of what makes Lawrence Taylor such an incredible story, he was the guy to stop the Niners. He came in and revolutionized the position, and he was there to stop that offense.
No doubt. No doubt about that.
This is what we love in sports.
This is what we love.
And now, so we've got the LeBron part, right? Now you drip it and you just dip it in Laker gold and purple, and then you crank it up because you're looking at 2. If I just said brands in sports, LeBron's brand, whether you guys hate that term or not, the brand is strong. I mean, it's a top 5 brand in sports currently, right?
No doubt about it. And it's the Battle of California. And as our texter here said from the Comcast Business Text Line, the Warriors are kings of the I-80 series. Now it's time to take over I-5. And it's the Battle of California. but it's a battle for Western Conference supremacy.
Yes.
And you got Crypto.com right there. And it feels like the winner of the series can go to the NBA Finals. Now, Denver's going to have something to say about it.
Hey.
That was a tough win for them yesterday. That was impressive. And Mike Malone is getting every ounce out of that basketball team. Christian Brown off the bench, Bruce Brown off the bench. You brought up KCP before the show.
Dude.
KCP's ball and fits well. All their pieces fit.
And Michael Porter Jr. didn't play well offensively yesterday.
No, and he's still and Jamal Murray.
You're right. Jamal had like 9 points.
But it's Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, Jokic.
Nikola Jokic dropping 39 points and 17 rebounds. He's just a beast when you need the basket, so they'll have something to say about it. But you get Lakers and Warriors. And you got the Laker fans saying, this little microwave franchise in the Golden State. That's how they believe the Warriors are. Oh, you guys haven't been around for long. You guys have been around for the last 10 years. You're nothing. We've got decades of success going back to the 50s, going back to Minnesota, going back to the early 60s, and in the 70s with Wilt Chamberlain and Jerry West. So they got that Laker aura with Jack Nicholson sitting courtside like he did last Friday night against the Grizzlies. It hit me yesterday like a ton of bricks. Shasky said, oh my God, we got LeBron and Steph in the second round of the playoffs and the Lakers and the Warriors.
So if you were to just say top 5 American sports teams, just in terms of legacy.
Lakers are right there.
Yankees, Lakers.
Celtics.
Cowboys, Steelers. Like, it's a short list.
Short list.
Right? I mean, maybe you want to throw the Niners in there, but like, to me, the Patriots, the
Red
Warriors,
Sox.
They feel more like new money, like startup tech money. You know what I mean? Like, compared to these old school, generational wealth organizations. And the crazy thing is that the Lakers haven't really done a whole lot since the Warriors stepped on the scene.
They really haven't. The last time the Warriors won a series against the Lakers in the playoffs was 1967. 1967.
That was Rick Barry's rookie year, correct? Or was 66 his rookie year?
He
was either 66 or 67.
Maybe
he came in the
Come on, people. I thought it was 67. But continue.
No, but like the only reason I know that is because I'm a Rick Barry diehard.
Right.
Wow, that's the last time that they.
So think about this.
Almost 70 years ago.
1968, Lakers sweep the Warriors. 1968, Lakers sweep the Warriors when they were still the San Francisco Warriors. 1969, Lakers win in 6 over the San Francisco Warriors.
Wow.
1973, the Lakers beat the Warriors in 5.
Wow.
1977, Western Conference semifinals, Lakers win in 7. All right. 1987, Chris Mullin and company losing 5 to the LA Lakers.
Sleepy
and then finally, Sleepy Floyd is Superman. And one game they won to avoid a sweep.
And that's insane.
And then, of course, 1991, Lakers win in 5 over the Golden State Warriors. So they have dominated the Warriors in the playoffs. They've dominated them in success in terms of revenue, in terms of the branding. They have been the team for so long. And now the Warriors. And this is something that's important, too. Joe Lacob, he always cites Jerry Buss. I want to be Jerry Buss.
Well, he was the gold standard.
I want to go to 16 NBA Finals in 33 seasons. That's what he wants. Joe Lacob's aware of how many championships Eddie DeBartolo has won with the 49ers. Think about what a championship does for him, what a championship does for Stephen Curry. Remember he sat here in the studio last year with us, Jasky, and he said, how cool will it be for Stephen Curry to match LeBron James in terms of all-time rings? I want that for him.
That was an incredible statement.
And now he's done that. But I heard Willard yesterday. I was listening to Willard and Dibs yesterday. Willard said, I disagree. This series will have no impact on legacies for Stephen Curry and LeBron James. I couldn't disagree more. If LeBron James wins number 5 and he goes through Stephen Curry on the way to number 5, now all of a sudden we're talking about the LeBron era.
Of course.
We're talking about LeBron being the best player.
He would win 2 with the Lakers if he could go on to winning it. You win multiple championships with the Lakers, that means something.
Stephen Curry wins 5, and he goes through Sacramento. He goes through LeBron.
I know.
Maybe Denver or Phoenix because you got KD or Jokic.
It wouldn't matter. You're going through the back-to-back
You're
MVP.
going through LeBron James on your way to number 5 to go one up on him. So to say that this has no impact on legacies, sure, they're cemented. LeBron James is all-time great. He's always going to be in an argument for the best player ever alongside LeBron James, Wilt Chamberlain, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Stephen Curry is submitted as a top 10 player all time. But if Steph goes through LeBron and he can get number 5, you don't think there's some delusion? There's going to be some fans out there saying, what about Steph over LeBron? There's going to be some. Now, I may not take that, but there's going to be some people thinking back like, you know what? I'd rather have Steph than LeBron. It heightens everything on his legacy.
I love it. No, I absolutely love where you're going with this. And I just keep going back to, like, as a sports fan, when you're growing up, right? The Giants hated the Dodgers and the Cardinals, and I love that. But I always wanted them to have a rivalry with the Yankees or with the Red Sox, right? Because those were like the blue blood type organizations. The Niners, luckily, we got to see them go against the Packers, the Cowboys, the Giants, blue blood organizations. They've never really had a rivalry with the Steelers, but I would love that, right? Like, that would be one.
Right.
The Warriors and Lakers are in the same conference. They're in the same division. It's LA versus SF, NorCal versus SoCal. Do you know this is higher than all of those other ones? I have wanted this to be a rivalry my whole life.
Well,
and we were never good enough.
Yep, never good enough. Remember the playing game, how big that was, where Steph is down there.
I still hold it in high regard.
Crypto.com arena, LeBron sees 3 rims and they advance to the playoffs, and the Warriors lose to Memphis. I mean, it was a glimpse. It was a cup of coffee. But it was right there saying, boy, if you get Warriors and Lakers, if you get the backdrop at Crypto.com
Adam
arena.
Silver is salivating.
This is going to break records.
I agree with you.
Ratings are going to be through the roof. Saturday night, tonight, 7
totally
p.m.
agree.
I'm so jacked in the brain right now, thinking like, when I went on my walk last night, and I'm watching Nuggets, and I'm watching KD struggle against the Denver Nuggets, and I'm saying, we got LeBron, and we have Steph in the same building, and we got the Warriors versus the Lakers for a trip to the Western Conference Finals. It doesn't get better than that. It just doesn't, Shasky. And I'm thinking about the ratings. I'm thinking about the stars. I'm thinking about the warm-ups. I'm thinking about Anthony Davis. How's he going to hold up every other day?
How about the coaching matchups?
The coaching matchup with Steve Kerr, Darvin Ham.
Clay going back to L.A.
I mean,
Steph
you heard
never
what Clay
shoots well
said.
in Staples when it's a Laker game, not a Clipper game because of the lighting.
Right.
Like, there's so many elements.
So many little
Draymond
elements.
versus himself, Draymond versus LeBron,
Well,
Draymond versus AD, Clutch. Like, they're... Bonte,
D'Lo, what about D'Angelo Russell?
Wiggins?
Going up against the Warriors saying, you guys gave up on me.
Yeah,
you guys ate half a season.
I know.
And now Kuminga, what is he going to do? And then Jordan Poole. How do you reset the mind of Jordan Poole?
I keep thinking about this matchup. Austin Reeves versus Jordan Poole. To me, there's something there between the two. Now, I know one's a starter.
Yeah.
I know one guy
and they may not even guard each other.
No. I meant more like production.
Right.
Who is going to have their imprint on this series more? Is it going to be Austin Reeves? Is it going to be Schroeder?
Right.
Is it going to be Jordan Poole? You're going to need other guys to contribute off the bench.
No doubt about that. We're going to talk all about it all day long. 888-957-9570. I want Dub Nation to chime in. I want X Factors. I want what's the biggest concern you have with the LA Lakers? What's the biggest thing you're taking away from this series? What is something the Warriors can do at will against the LA Lakers? Their defense has been really good since the trade deadline. 29-9 the LA Lakers are. They're humming right now. They're first in opponent's field goal percentage. They're first in points per game given up. They're playing lockdown defense. How do the Warriors unlock that? How do they go and penetrate against this defense? How can they score?
Don't answer now. I want your answer on the other side.
What's that?
Who's the Laker you grew up and you hated the most?
I don't know.
Because I've got a couple I'm going to throw at you.
I got one. There's one. And
I'm
one
not
only.
going to be here.
It's not that guy. It's not that guy. It's not that guy. 888-957-9570. Everything's on the table. Laker, who did you grow up hating? You got a couple?
Oh, yeah.
Big hate?
Oh. Bonte. Well, there's a couple like the guys that went to the Warriors, like Derek Fisher and Ronnie Turner.
Well, they're not good enough.
Yeah, but they're not good enough. That's my point.
All right, this segment is brought to you by Go to State Lumber. Serving the Bay Area for 3 generations. When you succeed, we succeed. Visit GoToStateLumber.com. We got Tim Roy coming up at 8:30, the voice of the Go to State Warriors on the radio side, right here on 95.7 The Game. We got Steph Curry's personal trainer, Brandon Payne from Accelerate Basketball. We'll get into Steph Curry and what he's doing. The first player to ever score 50 in a Game 7. Think about that. The history of the NBA. For over 75 years, and Steph Curry becomes the first player in Game 7 history to drop 50.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. And he's gearing up to have a big series against the LA Lakers. We'll talk all about it. That's sponsored by the Caltrade Stormwater Program.
Let's change this to that by picking up after our pets, reducing pesticide use, and regular vehicle maintenance. Learn how at cleanwaterca.com. That's cleanwaterca.
James, 2 defenders on him to Caldwell Pope inside. He's tied up by Green. Throws it back up top. James puts up the 3. Oh, it's gone! LeBron James from downtown as the shot clock expires. A desperation heave, and the Lakers are up 3.
This is Steve Kerr, and you're listening to the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game.
All right, Spinoni, be careful on that board. Be careful. Careful playing those terrible memories of the play-in game where the Lakers beat the Warriors in overtime. LeBron James saw 3 rims on that one. He nailed it from the logo. Hell of a shot. And it happened to be over Stephen Curry as the Lakers won that play-in game. They advanced to the first round of the playoffs. Lost in 6 to the Phoenix Suns. The Warriors, of course, lost in the do-or-die game to the Memphis Grizzlies at Chase Center. So, I guess I don't even count that as a postseason game, Shasky. It's hard for me to count that. Play-in tournament.
To me, it is.
It's not postseason basketball.
Well, they lost back-to-back games to get into the postseason. I mean, it's about as like when the Giants lost the 1-game play into the Cubs. That was a playoff game to me. So this is the same thing in the NBA. You can view it however you'd like.
Right. And I will look at it as like an NIT game to get into the playoffs. I don't know. Well, it was great theater.
I mean, if the Heat end up going to win it all, I mean, isn't it going to make an incredible story?
It will be wild.
I mean, you lose the first playing game and then find your way against the Milwaukee Bucks in a more difficult matchup.
The thing with the Heat, though, they didn't seem like a play-in team to me. They're a team that I thought, if they get into the first round, I didn't think they would win that series against Milwaukee, but I thought they could push Milwaukee to 6 or 7.
Well,
the fact that they dispatched them in 5 games, and then all of a sudden you're up 1-0.
With no Tyler Hero.
No Tyler Hero
and
at all.
Relying on a guy that they pretty much iced out all year in Lowry. You know what I mean? Which is kind of wild.
It is wild.
The most hated Lakers of all time. In terms of who's the guy, you can go wherever you want. I have one for different eras. So who were the guys that you hated the most?
Listen, I love Magic. I loved Magic. I love Kareem. I love James Worthy. I liked a lot of Lakers growing up.
Okay.
I did. I like a lot of their players. The only guy I truly hated on the LA Lakers was Kobe Bryant. It's the only one. It's the only one. I couldn't hate Shaq. I loved Shaq.
I love Shaq. I always loved Shaq.
I loved Robert Horry. All those years with the Rockets, I loved Horry.
Yeah.
Rick Fox, wasn't good enough for me to hate.
George?
Wasn't good enough for me to hate.
What about the 80s? For me, Kurt Rambis is the first guy I hated. I thought he was a scrub.
I love Kevin Rambis because he's a local guy.
What?
He's a local guy. Santa Clara University.
I thought he was a cheap shot artist scrub. That's just me being real.
He fit that team well.
No doubt he did, but he was also a perfect goon for that team, and I hated his guts.
I didn't hate those 80 Lakers teams. When I look back at Showtime Lakers, Byron Scott and Michael Cooper, they were lovable guys. They were lovable to me.
I couldn't stand either the Lakers or the Celtics, so I didn't have like a rooting interest per se. I just couldn't stand Kerr. Now we flash forward a little. Kobe, I couldn't stand early on. Now it kind of flipped a little. It flipped a little for me. And then the guy every time he got on the floor, I hated his guts. Sasha Vujacic.
He's not good enough to hate.
I know, but I couldn't stand hair, headband. I couldn't stand him.
He's not good enough to hate.
Couldn't stand
Sasha Vujacic, whatever the hell his name is.
Watching him come in and do the thing with the hair,
it drove me nuts. Good enough.
So damn clutch.
Nuts.
So damn
it's
clutch.
Not good enough to hate. I mean, out of all the guys that hate on the LA Lakers, Sasha.
I couldn't stand him.
You can't pick a Lamar Odom.
I like Lamar Odom. He had a lot of demons, and I loved those Clipper teams early on, him and Cuddy.
The Quest for 5 brought to you by the Alameda PD, now offering a $75,000 hiring incentive. Our team is your future. Go to alamedapolice.org to apply today. Listen, the guy.
I know that sounds random, but I couldn't stand him.
Listen, the guy. What I can't stand about the Lakers are their fans.
Well, that's
I can't stand Bay Area Laker fans.
Oh, they're the worst.
The Laker fans are like Cowboy fans. They're like Duke University fans, Yankee fans. They just got fans everywhere. And they always win. And Laker fans, no matter what, they're kind of like, they're delusional like Raider fans in terms of, we're going to get this player. Like every offseason, the Lakers think they're getting every single star. Everybody, every free agency. Oh, we're getting Kevin Durant. Oh, we're getting Dwight Howard. Now, they ended up getting Dwight Howard, but it didn't work out for them.
We're getting Karl Malone and
Gary Payton. They're getting every year Laker fans are telling me how they're loading up on stars. Oh, Kyrie Irving's already coming to the LA Lakers. Oh, we got this guy coming. Oh, look at Jason Tatum. They already photoshopped Jason Tatum in Laker uniforms. I mean, come on, man. It's too much. It's too much. Every year Laker fans are grabbing somebody every year. So that kind of bothers me. So that's why I can't stand Laker fans. What's wrong?
They were just telling me that we're working on our YouTube camera. Sorry, he was talking in my ear while you were talking. I apologize.
Why? What happened to YouTube?
I guess something's going on with the camera. So if you're on YouTube, hang tight. We're going to get there.
Right.
You know, the fan thing, it drives me nuts when it comes to Laker fans because you can go to a Warrior King game.
And there's always a Laker fan.
One idiot rocking a Kobe jersey, rocking a Shaq jersey, rocking a Magic jersey. I mean, we work with one here. Has Guru defined who he's rooting for?
I mean,
I thought for sure you're about to crush me there. I was shocked you said Guru, but I'm team. I don't wear a jersey of a team that's not playing in a game. That's a rule that I have.
Yeah,
it doesn't make
drives
sense.
me nuts.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It drives me nuts.
No, well, what's funny is Guru's probably been confused over these last 3 weeks.